Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Needless to say, I've got a cold, so I don't feel good today, and I probably don't look very good either. Anyway, I'm going to be doing the show in audio form only, and so let's get the chart started right. Well, first off, I didn't say what day it is. Today is October 7th, 2019. Listen, welcome here. Listen, okay, let's get the show started. Let's open up the charts right here. Hong Kong. Their automatic teller machines, that's where people go to get cash and stuff, are running out of cash. And it's starting to look like a bank run, quite seriously. We know the situation there has been deteriorating, and it's continuing to deteriorate. One of the things we have to take note of is real estate prices in Hong Kong are dropping as much as 20%, and they're continuing to drop. Now, Hong Kong is the hub for all of Asia, all of Southeast Asia, all of that area, that whole region. Hong Kong is the hub city. Massively huge city, massively huge financial sector. And you know what we see here in this chart? Retail sales in Hong Kong are dropping off a cliff right here. You can see it. And it's not surprising the reason why. Um, so, what's this prices doing today on commodities? Well, let's take a look at the silver price right here. And we can see it riding in a very narrow range in around 1755. And its price right now is 1750, 1760 ask. It says it's down 1 cent on the day. When's it going to break out of this range? We're going to have to wait and see. But as troubles intensify in the world, this reflects in the safe haven assets, and it tends to push them up in value. And we see trouble popping out here, there, and everywhere around the world, almost like a teenager breaking out in acne, you know? Excuse me. Anyway, that's what's going on. So let's turn it over to gold right now and take a look. And gold is at $14.98 bid, $14.98 ask. It's staying right in around that $1,500 range. But the range it's in right now says $1,504. So it's a little bit below the range it should be in. I'm expecting it later in the day to pop up to around $1,505. Let's take a look at cryptocurrency. Now, you know, cryptocurrency, I think it's finally bottomed out, and I think it's starting to make its climb. We're looking at $219.9 billion market cap, 66.8% Bitcoin dominance. And we see all the coins starting to take off today. It's green all the way across the board. Bitcoin 8160 and climbing. And we could see a fairly rapid price increase on this as the next few days progress. Because, you know, I think that personally, that when Bitcoin turned at about 3,600, something like that, and started to move up, I think we entered into the bull market, and I think we're still in the bull market. This is just a small decline in a larger bull market that we've been experiencing right now. Because nothing goes up in a straight line. And we see massive moves up to 13,800. Now we've seen it correct back down to around, it's just under 8,000. It was 70, what, 70? It was just under 8,000. Now it's starting to climb back up again. It's 8160. So I think this is going to probably continue with the cryptocurrencies. But we're going to have to wait and see if it continues. Of course, the old saying, you know, the proof's in the pudding. I like that saying, you know. It means that your proof is in what actually happens, not... Okay, so now let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average today and see what's going on. It's down 107 points right now, 109 points right now. 26,465 is where it's at. Now let's take a look at the oil prices today, and we see I think they've bottomed out too. I think we put in a bottom at 51.16 for sweet light crude. Now we're at 53.55, and it seems like they've been slowly climbing over the last couple days in price for sweet light crude. Now let's take a look at U.S. Treasuries today, and we do see rising yields today. Now I'm going to tell you why the yields on these Treasuries went down so low in the first place. I didn't see this coming. This one thing I didn't see coming. I expected the Treasury yields to rise. And why they fell so low is investors saw this as the biggest safe haven asset that they could purchase. And when investors got nervous that this recession was coming, this oncoming recession, they've been piling into Treasuries. Inflows of capital have been coming in because the dollar is the best looking of the fiat currencies. Basically what it amounts to. And we got these negative yields on tremendous amount of negative yields. I think it's like 30% of the bonds worldwide are negative yielding. That's like giving somebody money to hold your money, And this defies the conventions of the laws of money. Generally, when somebody holds your money, money has to work. Money makes money. It's the old saying, money makes money. And, when somebody's holding your money, they should be paying you interest for the privilege of holding your money. You shouldn't have to pay them. So, we're living in a topsy-turvy time right now, and this is indicative of what's coming. This is a signal. If we're reading what's happening in the world, we would know that this is a signal of something monstrous, something huge that's bearing down on us. A giant financial storm. This is a signal of it. The fact that all these negative yielding bonds, even corporate debt. I mean, it just gone beyond bizarre. Let's take a look now at the dollar. 98.83. It's rising just a little bit today, but insignificant. And so there we go. The dollar is the best looking fiat currency out there. So they're going to continue to, they do invest in the yen, too. The yen is what considered to be a safe haven asset. So dollar and yen. But the dollar is riding strong, and the initial phases of this recession that's coming, excuse me, the initial phases of this recession that's coming, it's going to be a little bit on the deflationary side, and this is one of the reasons why they're running into these fiat currencies. Even though, ultimately, fiat currencies have no real value, nothing behind them. They're not backed by anything. They're just created by decree. Let's take a look at this article right here. And, they've had an awful lot of swine, this type of swine flu sort of a thing. It's like an Ebola for pigs. And the Chinese farmers now are raising mutant pigs. These giant pigs. Look at a picture of this pig. I mean, I'm going to tell you what. I can just imagine that's going to produce a lot of pork. Because it's a one big enormous pig. But will that pork taste good? That's the thing. Maybe they can cut it up into small slices or whatever and put lots of spices on it or whatever to take the taste away. But generally, when you get a big monster pig like that, generally the meat's tough. But it's better than having no pig and no meat, because the Chinese eat a lot of pork, and they've had this disease going through the pork, wiping out their pork, and so now they're raising these giant pigs. Well, we'll see how successful they are at it. Listen, thank you guys for listening to this show. Give me a thumbs up, guys. And, we'll catch you guys tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be getting over this flu and start to feel a little bit better. And, bye-bye, guys.